For as long as many of us can remember, humans and animals have been partaking in an act called the mating ritual. It may or may not be a big surprise for you to learn that both humans and animals perform in a relatively similar manner during these rituals. Things generally begin with the male putting on some sort of theatrical display, while the female observes and contemplates whether the male in question is the right suitor for her. How exactly does she do this? Well, she comes to her decision based on various factors, but do you ever wonder why it is that the female is the one to make the decision instead of the male? To get a better understanding, let's jump on social media quickly and pull up almost any picture posted by an attractive woman. No matter what platform you're on, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I promise you that you will not find any shortage of men who aren't legitimately swooning over the lady. However, when a rare, high-quality man comes along and does something that completely breaks the mold, the woman is left questioning everything that she thought she knew about how the proverbial game or ritual works. One important thing you need to remember is that girls, especially attractive ones, are used to getting a lot of attention. Think about how in movies, a man may be pouring a cup of coffee in his office when a beautiful woman walks in. The next thing he knows, he's pouring coffee all over his desk after being mesmerized by her appearance. There are even accounts of guys rear-ending the car in front of him just because the man driving was staring at a woman jogging on the other side of the road. With that said, the average male doesn't know what it's like to have this kind of attention on them since they rarely receive it. But for a moment, think about how you would react if you did. Would you be able to put it out of your mind or end up letting it all go to your head? From a young age, girls are groomed into thinking that they are the prize when it comes down to the mating ritual game. At the same time, men are groomed to compete and woo the girl they find physically attractive. This results in the women being more prepared to weather the attention that men will give them as they get older, and it also makes men more competitive with one another. Unfortunately, a lot of guys out there are too desperate, and they will jump at the first sign of attention they get. This isn't good, as it gives the woman a clear sign that the guy is interested, but also relinquishes all the power to her. At this point, the only thing left for her to do is choose you or say, "Next, please." So as men, what do we need to do to get some power back on our side of the court? The answer is rather simple, but most guys just won't do it. Or they say they will, but can't bring themselves up to the task. So what is it? Stop judging based on looks. Let's face it, you've been asked whether you're a butt guy or a breast guy, and the fact that we use this rating system is part of our downfall. You may have rated women at the club on a scale of 1 to 10, and while it may seem harmless, you're hurting your chances. You're probably sitting there thinking that I've finally lost it. If we're not physically attracted to the woman, then what are we even doing, right? I'm not saying go out and find the most unattractive woman in the club, but what I am saying is simply raise your standards. Men typically have low standards, especially regarding the fairer sex. To get a better idea of how you should approach this situation, think about a hobby or something that you like to collect. Maybe you enjoy camping, or you're a computer guy, or maybe even someone who enjoys cruising around on your custom motorcycle. In any of these situations, will just anything do? Will you use any run-of-the-mill camping gear? Are all computer parts created equally? Does the type of motorcycle or accessories you use matter to you? Chances are you have a preference. If you ask a truck guy if he likes Ford or Chevy, they will give you a list of reasons as to why. Not just because one is prettier than the other, so why don't we do the same with a woman? Raise your standards and consider more than just physical appearance. Guys that have been with a lot of girls will naturally develop higher standards just from experience in the game. When this happens, various patterns start to become more evident with certain types of girls. Something else that you'll notice as you develop more experience with girls over time is that you'll start to see various patterns or types of girls. You'll eventually be able to pick up on things that tell revealing traits within their personalities, but even better than that, you'll start to learn more about your own preferences. When you raise your standards and find someone that matches up, you lower the risk of drama while raising the chances of success. The more refined our standards become, the more we can enjoy what we like and avoid what we don't like when it comes to women. Perhaps one of our biggest downfalls is sitting around thinking about the things men generally think about women. We're all guys here, you know what that is, and most girls automatically assume that it's all true. And in most cases, they're 100% accurate. As men, we can be that predictable. This is one of our biggest downfalls when it comes to romance. But what if you weren't so easily swayed by their beautiful appearance? Imagine what would happen if you broke the mold and switched roles. Instead of her judging you, you judge her. Sure, it may sound easier said than done, but it's very simple if you instill standards. You can stand out from the rest of the male herd by simply asking a woman questions that will reveal to you whether or not she has the specific qualities that you're interested in. Remember, this is about gaining knowledge and perspective, and you shouldn't resort to giving in to her just because you find her to be gorgeous. Give yourself some sort of system. For example, you have a list of traits you're looking for. A woman that's into sports, beaches, camping, skiing, late nights, clubbing, etc. Now tell yourself she needs to check off at least X amount of these boxes, and if she doesn't, you're going on to the next possible girlfriend. Why is this approach effective? Remember earlier when I mentioned that a rare, high-value man can break the mold and oftentimes leave the woman contemplating what she thought she knew about the mating game between men and women? This is exactly how that is achieved, and once you're able to flip the script, you'll find yourself in control of the situation, allowing you to do the choosing rather than try to become the chosen.